Hi, this is Wes Davis, DCC Quality Assured Program. They were talking about the major revisions to the Energy Star Certified Homes Program, known as Revision 8. This is a basic overview talking about the changes to the checklists themselves at a high level, and then how that impacts the information flow. So the biggest change is, instead of one checklist capturing basically two portions of the HVAC system installation design and then the installation, or what they're calling the commissioning, now we have two checklists. Taking a look at the design checklist first, you'll find some comfort in knowing that you'll see a lot of familiar questions or familiar sections. I've estimated about 80% of this information is basically the same. Some of the big high-level changes that I noted is, one, if the specified equipment the designer selects is not installed, it requires the designer's approval. So keep that in your kit bag. And number two, there are some exceptions that deviate from what many local jurisdictions have adopted as their building code. And so you want to check the national program requirements. Top of page 4, item 6 talks about those conflicts. Typically, Energy Star yields to local building officials. So if you want to avoid some complications, I would recommend checking with your local building code. And we'll talk about those details in a subsequent video that explores the design checklist further. Taking a look now at the commissioning checklist, again, you'll see basically the information is the same. There is a requirement for some more administrative information. The airflow section has been expanded, and installers, you will need a copy of the designer's checklist. They are to provide that. More details and delving into this checklist will be done in a subsequent video. Looking now at the information flow, before we had one checklist that covered everything from soup to nuts. And now we have two separate checklists covering the first and final stages of the HVAC system installation. So at the very beginning, the design, and at the very end, the startup, or as Energy Star calls it, the commissioning checklist. So how does this impact the information flow? Well, to begin with, let's assume that the designer is an independent company from the installing contractor. The designer, as soon as they've completed their HVAC system design, they can take that checklist, complete it, give it to the rater, and they are finished. They do still need to give a copy to the home builder and or that installing contractor, along with their plans, specs, drawings, etc., for the installation of the system. But for the rating process, as soon as they turn in that checklist, they are done. And I would, speaking of raters, remind everybody that they will be checking the specified equipment against what was installed, and if there's any substitutions, the designer must sign off on that. Next, we get to the commissioning checklist, or CX checklist, and the installing contractor completes this and holds on to it. There's no requirement to submit that to anyone. However, the builder, or the rater, or the QA program may ask for a copy. You're required to keep a copy of both the commissioning and the design checklist in your records. So designers pass that information on to the installers, and if it's one company that's doing both the design and the installation, you've got those records, and you need to keep track of both of them. This has been a very quick high-level review of the changes. The first one being, of course, that the checklist is split into two separate, distinct parts. The other part is that the information flow has changed. The designer, as soon as they complete their system design, can submit that to the rater, and the rating process continues. They then give a copy to the home builder or that installing HVAC contractor. And of course, the installing contractor needs to maintain a copy of both the commissioning and the design checklist in case there's a review at a later time. They don't need to submit those to anyone, but they are subject to request by the builder or the rater or the QA program. This has been a very quick review. If you have any questions, please check out the other videos, or feel free to give us a call or shoot us an email. Thank you for your time.